At the beginning of the story, a sailor speaks to his superior, who is afraid because he believes he has failed the king. The sailor tries to comfort him by explaining that fear is useless and that wisdom comes from experience and calm speech. To prove his point, the sailor begins to tell his own past experience, showing that even after great disasters, hope and safety are still possible. The sailor explains that he once traveled on a large ship on the Great Green Sea on a mission for the king. The ship was strong and well-equipped, and it carried many brave and skilled sailors who were not afraid of the sea. They were experienced men who could read the sky and the land. However, despite their courage and skill, a violent storm suddenly rose. Strong winds and huge waves destroyed the ship, and all the sailors drowned. Only the narrator survived and was carried by the sea to a mysterious island. When the sailor wakes up on the island, he finds himself completely alone. For 3 days, he survives with only his heart for company. He searches the island and discovers that it is full of food such as fruits, fish, and birds. The island provides everything he needs, showing that the gods are protecting him. He lights a fire and offers it to the gods as a sign of gratitude. This moment shows the sailor's respect for divine power and his belief that the gods control human destiny. Suddenly, the island begins to shake, and a gigantic snake appears. The snake is described in a magical way, with a golden body and shining eyes, which makes it seem divine rather than dangerous. At first, the sailor is terrified and cannot speak. The snake asks him who brought him to the island and warns him to speak truthfully. When the sailor finally tells his story, the snake listens carefully and then reassures him, saying that a god saved his life and brought him to the island. The snake tells the sailor that he will stay on the island for 4 months and that a ship will eventually come to take him home. It promises that he will return safely to his family and live a peaceful life. The snake then shares its own tragic story, explaining that it once lived happily on the island with its family until a falling star destroyed them in fire. This part of the story reflects themes of loss, fate, and the power of the gods, showing that suffering is shared by both humans and divine beings. Grateful and relieved, the sailor promises to tell the king about the greatness of the snake and to bring it gifts such as incense and oil. The snake laughs at this promise and explains that it already rules the land of Punt and owns all such riches. It also reveals that the island will disappear once the sailor leaves, making it an unreachable and mythical place. This emphasizes the magical nature of the island and the idea that some experiences are meant to be lived only once. As predicted, a ship arrives and the sailor prepares to leave. Before departing, the snake gives him many valuable gifts. The sailor bows respectfully and returns to Egypt, where he presents the gifts to the king and is rewarded. The story ends by returning to the present moment, where the sailor finishes his tale and reminds his superior that fear should not control him. Through this narration, the story teaches lessons about faith, patience, divine protection, and the importance of calm wisdom in the face of danger.